Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Possum Show. This video is the second in a series directed towards those who are studying Chinese away from an immersion environment. In a previous video, I mentioned four things to focus on concurrently when studying Chinese. Today, I'm going to talk about reading out of the four. So I want to share a quick story. When I was in China, I bought this book here at a local supermarket, and my thought was I would use this book to improve my reading, and I could measure my progress against it. What I found is that the book has a lot of Changyu, and it has a lot of difficult vocabulary. Even to this day, I still cannot read that book. I can read some of it, but I can't read that whole book. Is just too difficult. So what I've realized is, sometimes books like that are not the best source to use to learn how to read Chinese, at least not for a beginner. Second is this here. This book here is an example of a guided reader. It happens to be the one that I used. I bought this series after moving to China, and this particular series has 10 books total. The way a guided reader works is that it will introduce you progressively to more complex grammatical patterns and vocabulary. And so, like this one here is second level. It's second level A. And like the first chapter, and even at the second level, it still shows pinyin. It also shows Hanzi. It shows both still. And so what will happen is you'll get like some type of story to read, like this one here. You'll see pinyin and Hanzi as well. Along the margins, you'll see new terms, new vocabulary with the English translations. And at the end, you'll find maybe an explanation on language points and grammar points and usage and things like that. A little bit, and another cultural note, and some exercises to do. Actually, did this include? It did not include exercises. Some readers do, others do not. But readers like that. The reader was really helpful for me when I was learning how to read Chinese characters. And I'm just going to mention a few other resources to use to help work on reading. There's a program called Anki. Anki is basically a spaced repetition flashcard program that you use on your computer. And you can download files to study, and you can also build your own files. I've built a few such files myself to help me learn Chinese, and it's free, and you just basically download the software onto your computer and you can go from there. Another is called Quizlet. Quizlet is not one I really use extensively. I am somewhat familiar with it. It's similar to Anki, except that it's web-based, not standalone on your own computer. Another website that I still use to this day, is called Memrise. Memrise is similar to Anki and Quizlet. They're both, all three of them are spaced repetition flashcard delivery systems. This one's a web-based one. It's a really good one, and it's really good to help learn and memorize characters. They have some really good, Chinese lessons on that on Memrise. I will provide links to these websites and resources in the description box below. And since I'm talking about programs and things like that, I'll mention another one is Pleco. Pleco is a mobile app for a cell phone, and for Androids, Androids and for iPhones. You can download it, and it's got like a dictionary and flashcard system, and it's a pretty nifty tool. I still have it out for Android. I'm currently using an iPhone, so I'm actually not using Pleco right this second, but I do have it still, and it is a good program. And I know a lot of people who do use it, who do use Pleco, so it's yet another resource. So at this point, I'm going to stop and just leave it with that. I'll make one final comment, is that in the next video I'll be talking about writing Chinese characters, and some of the content that I'm going to be talking about with the writing can also be used for the reading as well. And in fact, all of this stuff can be used for all four. There's some overlap, but the next video will be focusing on writing. So anyway, that's all I have to say. So I hope this video was useful, and until next time, later.